Go ahead. Make my day.
Hey guys, SGT Nickel here, and today I want to go over why I like the 870 over any other shotgun. Now first of all, why I might choose a shotgun over any other rifle. Well, multi-tool. That's basically it. The shotgun is a very diversified firearm. You can shoot many different kinds of rounds. You can shoot flares, anything 12 gauge. This goes for the 12 gauge shotguns. I'm sure there's a lot of other options you can get with other shotguns, but for the price you're going to pay, I find 12 gauge the best and most abundant. This here is a Remington Express 870 and with a norinco HP9 14.5 inch barrel. It's completely interchangeable with the norinco, which is one of the things I do like. You can basically turn this shotgun into any shotgun, which in my opinion is pretty cool. Well, not any shotgun, but anything that's pump action. You can make it look any way you want, pretty much. You can see I've got a few different other shotguns here. This here is the HP9 norinco. It's pretty much the clone of this shotgun. A few differences. They've put some brazing in this gun to make it a little bit stronger and a little heavier. It's a much heavier gun, and I find it to be not as reliable. I've had problems with the pump feed, the bars that are inside it for cleaning. They come out in this one they don't, so this one's better. This is a $250 gun, this is about a $500 gun, so that's your differences. My opinion, and it's just kind of funny because it's almost the same rule with bikes. This is bicycles I'm talking about. Once you get about $500 or more, you're paying for weight off and looks. That's it. Anything under $500, you're paying more for function. So if you pay $500 for a gun, it should be a good gun. There should be no excuses. It's the thing about a gun is what makes a good gun is basically the barrel and the firing pin. That's it. As long as the hammer hits the firing pin hits where it's supposed to hit, and your barrel is true, sends that bullet down where it's supposed to go. That's what makes a gun accurate. That's the only thing that makes it good. Anything else is just looks or weight off, period. Nothing else is going to make you a better shooter. Like, sure, trigger pull, things like that, length of pull, things like that, that's all just finicky nitpicking stuff. That's where you've gotten slack and used to it. You can adjust. Everybody does. So it's not the gun, it's you when it comes to those things, and that's fine. But it's you. The gun still works with whatever your complaint is. It's all you. It's the barrel that makes the gun. So once you've got $500 more, once you've gone up to $500, really in my opinion, you can't be buying a better barrel. So you're just paying for looks and weight off, making it a lighter gun or whatever other little features and bells and whistles it might have. With the 870, you've got a very plain looking gun. You can always add things to it to make it to the way that you want it. So it's one of the things I really like about it. There's other shotguns I know you can get other accessories for, but in my opinion, there's no range larger than of course the 870 from what I've found. I found some for Mossberg 500. That's almost its competitor. I'm going to talk about Mossberg. Just a quick little complaint about that. it's not just my complaint. I think Mossberg's okay for what you pay for. You're paying $150. You're going to get a piece of shit, but it's what you paid for. So Mossberg does a lot of innovative things, a lot of things that normally people wouldn't do, that makes them kind of unique. I know that a lot of noobs like them because of that. It makes, you're getting a cool gun, I guess, a cool looking gun. But as far as function goes, I don't think they're well made. I think that, it's Mossberg it's an American name. It's a Soviet name from an American company. And I mean, if you want something Soviet, go buy a real Soviet. They're going to outstand any American gun, period. You can get a real cheap piece of shit Soviet, and it'll be the equivalent to this. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Soviet, but I just don't understand why an American company would take a Soviet name for one thing. It's just, I don't know. It's all reputation and movie stuff. They love to promote. I don't know. It's just product placement when you see Mossberg in movies. You know why the police force use Mossberg? It's because it's cheap. Period. The government doesn't want to fork out big bucks for a police force, so they give them the cheapest denominator, which happens to often be Mossberg. But they aren't good guns. They're absolute crap. I've got a. This is technically a Mossberg right here. This has not been fired very much at all. It's a very plain over-under. It's called Maverick. It's made in Turkey, but Mossberg owns the company. And the barrel already is slightly wiggling up here. The gun still shoots fine, but I mean, in my opinion, it should not do that. And that's just because of shitty craftsmanship, and that's what you get from Mossberg. So I just do not like them. As far as, I just wouldn't buy one. I tend to save the next paycheck up and maybe get something a little bit more pricey. This one here is a really beautiful gun, but it's heavy. Now you might want your fancy purdy gun. There's nothing wrong with that. This is nowhere near as fancy as some guns get. This is just a basic coach gun. It's all wood. That's why I consider it fancy. It's heavy and it's really well made. This gun I would not want to take out in the woods, get rained on, or get beat around in the back of my truck. So I wouldn't take it with me. My 870 I would not give a shit about. It's all plastic polymer. I can always repaint it. It's not that big of a deal. This gun I'd throw in the back of my truck, all that. So I take this out camping, all that. That's why it's my number one choice. You can do almost anything with the 870. You can get all different kinds of stocks for it. If you break this stock, you just go out and get a new one. It's not that expensive. If you want to go get a wood stock, I think it's going to be pretty pricey. So that's one of the things. Also the whole cleaning factor of the 870. Nothing gets easier as far as shotgun cleaning than the 870. The reason I say about the 870 is when the barrel comes off, that just slides out. You've got your pump, your two rails. That's the only rails in there. A lot of other shotguns, they got these interlocking rails. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's a pain in the ass when you clean. It took me almost 2 hours to get a goddamn Browning back together after I took it apart for a basic cleaning, while this gun takes me less than 5 minutes. So that's what I mean. All you gotta do is just make sure this thing's clean. Sometimes that little hole where the firing pin, make sure there's nothing obstructing that. Make sure your extractor's there. So all you gotta do with this, clean it with a toothbrush, give this a wipe down, run a bore brush or a bore snake through your barrel. You can drop out the trigger grouping if you want. You just undo these 2 screws in this case because I have a side saddle. Or if I don't have a side saddle, it's just 2 punch cotter pins. You just knock out, trigger grouping drops out. Brush it with a toothbrush, plop back in. If anything's broken with the trigger grouping, you send it back to Remington, they'll fix it. This spring tube comes out really easily. You just turn it till it comes out to the notch. You got it out. Then there's a little plastic tube in there. You pull that out, clean all that, put it back together. It doesn't get any easier. I can interchange this slug barrel with this slug barrel, or I can take the trap barrel off my Norinco HP9 at the moment and put it on this. I got 3 barrels for this gun now, so pretty convenient. I'll put the short barrel on it just for now because I'm going to show you quickly how short you can make the 870. It doesn't have to be a full-size shotgun. You can make it into a pretty nice little compact shotgun. I'll just quickly show you how fast this goes back together. You just put this back on, put the slide through. Now there's 2 tabs on the inside. One, you do the action side first, where the round will come out. It'll move like about a quarter of an inch, if that. Now you do the other side. That's the basically the same side that your side saddle's on, and it drops into place and it slides open when you push this button. Opens all the way. Now you drop your barrel in place, and you'll want your pump all the way open when you put your barrel in. Just makes everything so much easier. And then you put your little cap on, the magazine tube or compression cap. Basically holds your barrel in place and holds everything together. So it's just back together. Now, if I want to put a pistol grip on here, I've already made one up, so it's going to be real quick. I've got this. I just need to get one more piece for this actually, because I'm missing it. I'll be right back. Alright, found it. Okay, just this little plug. So I'm going to need a Phillips and my screwdriver and an Allen tool. There it is. Those 3 tools. Now this does, as far as changing out anything, this is probably the most slightly complicated, but it's simple. Now a lot of people, they think when you turning a shotgun into a pistol grip and all that, it's illegal. That's not the case. What's illegal is to actually saw it off, unless you cut it over 18 inches from the breech. If parts are already manufactured, there's no law about it. It's just that you can't go ahead and cut your own off or cut it down to be under length. But if a scatter gun in Canada is already manufactured, as far as the barrel is already cut, made by the manufacturers, there is no legal length to scatter gun. What I can also do is I can pay a transfer fee. So I can cut one down, and I can pay a $7 transfer fee to the RCMP, and that's just a piece of paper that says I'm allowed to have it. But it's not anything like a permit or restriction, anything like that. There's no legal limit to scatter guns in Canada. You're just not allowed to cut them down. That's all. Otherwise it's a sawed-off shotgun. So that's the thing. Sawed-off shotguns are legal, but not short shotguns. You can have coach gun, you can have a pistol grip, tiny little shotgun this big, as long as it's been manufactured that way or the transfer fee's been paid. So right now I have a pretty short pistol grip pump action shotgun, which I'll just take the sling off it for now just to make it easier. But there you go. That's as short as the 870 can go. Now when you shoot these, it's not a very good idea to be looking straight down the barrel. You need to pull forward with your forearm because of the kick. So that's something you need to really keep in mind. They're not as safe as having a butt up against your shoulder. You can really give yourself a good shiner if you don't know what you're doing with these. So that's one thing. But there you go. That's makes it quite a bit shorter than this coach gun. So that. So I showed you the cleaning of that and why I basically like it. I mean, you can't beat it. You can put anything on it. You can make it any gun that you want as far as shotguns. You can put scopes on them. You can put rifled barrels. Cleaning, it's a breeze. You don't get easier than that. As far as the Norinco HP9, it's just not as well made. It's a lot heavier gun. The rails in here are screwing up. I'm having ejection problems with the tube feed. Sometimes they won't come out. Sometimes they all come out. Sometimes I'll get one into the rack and then one pops out the bottom and falls on the floor. Just weird thing. So yeah, I'm not very happy with the HP9. As far as I paid for it, I mean, yeah, I got what I paid for. You don't put out very much money on a gun, you're not going to get very much back. Now this is a pretty expensive gun. This is around an $800 gun, I think. I paid $6 something for it, and then yeah, so no, not quite $800, about $700 probably. But I'll show you what cleaning with these and why I don't like them out in the bush. I mean, they're stupid simple. They take down real nice. They just come apart. You run your tube socks through here. You make sure your extractor's clean. And this guy's clean. Your little clip in there is somewhat oiled, and that's about it. And then you get to this piece. Really, there's no way to clean it. I don't know if you can see, but it's just two little hammers with the firing pins inside everything. It's all within, and there's no way to clean that. You'd have to take it to the gunsmith, and he's got to do it. So, as far as a bush gun goes, it's not my choice. I really like the 870. You can do everything on it yourself. And as far as the over/under, same thing, same complaint. It's just you can only take it apart so much, and then to the guts you can't get to. With the 870 you can. I know with Browning and other companies, yes, you can totally get to the guts. You can get to the guts with the Winchester, all that, but try putting it back together in 5 minutes or less. It's not going to happen. You're going to be fiddling with rails that are moving all over on you. You're probably going to put it together a couple times wrong. That little button here, for one thing, often falls out when you're trying to fiddle with it. So it's just gravity's always fighting you. With this, not an issue. You just pull it apart, slap it back together. Just ready to go. So that's the why I choose the 870. You can put different chokes on it. You can put your door breech on. You can use them for all sorts of stuff. You got flares, sound flares, pistol grip. You can have a full-size shotgun. You can, I mean, it's just endless. So if I was going out in the woods or camping or backpacking or anything, my first choice definitely a shotgun. Then I take a 22 as just a secondary, which might be my Ruger takedown inside the bag and all that. But those are my choices. I could go out with any one of my rifles as well, but as far as shotgun goes, you get the multi-tool and you get that power. So quite like it. Yeah, I don't think anything would change my mind unless they invent something new. Well, there's a couple things I'd like to also mention, just squeeze this in. About the 870 and any other pump action shotgun that makes pump actions generally so great is you don't have any magazine capacity laws with pump action, meaning you can put mag extenders on here and there is no limit. So you can also have that option. They may also have a magazine that goes into the pump action down here. Not certain. I've heard rumors that there is one. Never seen one, so I don't know if that's true, but I hear rumors that there is. Otherwise, of course, there's this one that extends up here, and that gives you four more tubes. I've seen ones that do 8 as well, but they're just harder to find. That's one thing. The other thing I wanted to mention with the long skirt, like so with the polymer stock, is that they're hollow. So you can always put in your survival kit, some matches, or a cleaning kit, and some other various things in there. You could always store ammo in there. So that's the nice thing about having the hollow stock as to having those solid wood ones. Also makes it just lighter. And the other thing about the 870 is that your pump, the button to open your action is up front here instead of behind here. Me personally, I like that better. Some people go, oh well, it takes you longer to pump the gun. Well, my opinion is you've just fired that one round off. Why not just pump it again? Boom. You see what I mean? You don't have to reach up and open it each time. If you need to, well then you just reach up and open it. Having it back here, when you shoot, you got this recoil action. Your finger is going to push that button, and it might actually mess up your shooting a little bit more. That's what the Mossbergs have, and some other guns. I just prefer it up front. That's another thing I really happen to like about the 870, is it's your opening button's up and out of the way, but it's not out of the way completely that you can't open it. Your finger should not be on the trigger anyway when you're pumping. The Model the Model 12 from Winchester, for instance, if your finger's on the trigger and you pump it, you just fire another round. It slam fires when your finger's on the trigger. As to this one, your finger's off the trigger because it's out of the guard anyway, and you're pushing it, so just makes it all safer. So that's what I do like about it. Just wanted to add that. For one thing, you can put scopes on them. I think I mentioned that. And yeah, so that's the big thing about pump action. There's no ammo capacity law. If you have a semi-automatic, it's a 5-round capacity max, I believe. The only thing that there's a capacity magazine law for hunting, and that goes for all guns. 3-round limit, period. If you're hunting anything, it's a 3-round limit. If you're doing pest control, different story. I don't think there's any law about ammo capacity. But if you're hunting for food, hunting legit, it's 3 rounds. That's to prevent what they call duck genocide. It's just where you go trigger happy and blow everything away. So I don't know. In my opinion, you get too many cowboys out there. I guess that's a good law. But yeah, so there you go. Very, very diverse of firearm. You can pretty much turn it any way you want. So just wanted to add that little bit. I forgot to mention the ammo, and also the fact that you can extend the magazine, and the fact that the butt is hollow. You can add things to it, and also that the button feature. A lot of guns will have it back here. I don't like that. I think you're more likely to have a problem. So there you go.
Action.
Hey guys, SGT Nickel here, and today I've got my Remington 870. It's got a slug barrel on it, no choke, just a 28-inch barrel. I had my 14.5-inch barrel, had to trade over because I'd shoot a couple rounds and the shell would get stuck in my breech and I could not cycle the action for this course. What we're going to be doing here is I'll be walking through the woods, basically taking out targets. I'll be hitting tin cans to start with, going through, and at the very end there's a humanoid target which I'll be taking out with a 12-gauge slug. Other than that, it's going to be heavy load birdshot. That's a 7.5 dram heavy load. So, hope this is entertaining.
2, 3, action.
Going loud!
Action.
Hey guys, SGT Nickel here, and today we're going to be doing some basically quick shotgun shooting. I'm going to have this on my shoulder, basically slope arms, and I'll be basically throwing it up on my shoulder as fast as I can, and I'm going to unload 5 rounds on each of those cans. So, sorry, 1 round on each can, take out all 5, and then I'm going to reload as fast as I can, and I'm going to unload on that stray can off to the side. So anytime you're ready, hold one in my hand ready to go. Go. Hold. Hold.
Shh.